YouTube vinyl community, Rilo Kiley fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens. We are here today to talk about Rilo Kiley's debut release from 1999, first time issued on vinyl in 2020, and I'm so stoked to finally have this thing on vinyl because I never got a chance to own the CD. The CDs are extremely rare to come by. They've been pressed up 3 or 4 different times with some alternate track listings as you go. This is a vinyl copy of the second release, so very cool to have this thing officially released on vinyl. And a fascinating document of the band as well. I've been a Rilo Kiley fan since about 2004. Whenever More Adventurous came out, that's when I got into them. It's really cool to hear them, because I haven't heard this thing in whole in a million years, and so to hear this thing on record was, number one, a time capsule, because this band for me was so big when I was in high school and college, and to hear them at such an early stage in their career to what they would grow into really shows the strength of their musicianship and their songwriting, that even from day one, they were already super strong at what they were doing, and they'd become better and better as they went along. The album opens up with the Frug, which is probably their most famous song at that time, and especially for the first couple of years of their career anyway, but total mid-60s dance rock meets 90s alternative, a song about dancing the dances, being into a whole lot of our stuff, but no matter what, there are some things you can't do, like fall in love. And so it's like no matter how great you are, all these other things, you might not be able to give your heart to somebody, but it's a super sweet, catchy song. It's absolutely endearing. Excellent way to meet the band, if you will. Papillion, Jenny and Blake take turns on the vocal on this thing, sort of as a duet, and I really like that. I also love lyrically how they mention like a fake website, which is just kind of proving how, for a lot of people watching this channel, you might be younger than 25 years old. In 1999, talking about a website in a song was this out there phenomenon. I remember Blink-182 having a song where they mentioned talking about being online, and at the time being like, oh cool, they know about the internet too. Stupid, but you know, at the time it was kind of like an edgy, cool thing to be like, oh, you know, something.com. So pretty fun, but I really like that. I love the acoustics, the soft drums on this song, total classic. Always is track 3 on this thing. I love the computery drums on this thing, those sort of burpy, synthy moments that happen throughout this thing. Jenny's delicate voice on top of it all has this really peppy pop to it, but the overall lo-fi sound of the production on this thing has a magic that blends so well with the storytelling. It's just a very of its time type of track. 85 is the next song on here, and this tender ballad has a great full production here. Jenny's voice in this one is more reflective and full of hardship. You can kind of hear the pain in her voice with her storytelling here. I like the pitter-patter drums, the dreamy guitars, the build-up towards the end. Something that like Phoebe Bridgers would do these days. This would be something she'd be really into if she heard this song back in the day. And then Glendora, the last song on side 1, upbeat, fast-paced, biting track. There's a slight punk influence here, but I really like the classic indie delivery, if you will. A sharp song with a catchy refrain. Can't go wrong with that one. Side 2 opens up with Teenage Love Song. Somber, slow dance, you know, last song at the prom kind of track before everything sort of falls apart, if you will. But the song is about first times and the ensuing awkwardness, and Jenny's hits some vocal moments that are absolutely unbelievable, but it just blows up as it gets closer to the ending. It becomes this crashing song. So it starts off as sort of a sweet 50s track and becomes a real heavy 90s alternative rock song, which I absolutely love that transition. So classic song there. Sword is piano and acoustic guitars with a little bit of brushes on the drums. Trying to find a way to tell someone you love them without being so super straightforward about it. And I really like that. It's a cute little track. Very sweet. The next song on here, A-Hole. I don't really swear on this channel, so A-Hole is the name of the song on this one. More dreamy guitars over a solid beat. Blake takes the lead on this one, and Jenny harmonizes with him. I like the minimalist record scratch sound that kind of happens throughout this thing. A little bit of an edge to the acousticness of the track. Gives it a sort of hypnotic feel as well. And then Gravity, no matter how much you try to fight it, gravity will always bring you down, as Bueller once sang. A song about walking away from it all. Jenny's voice takes on a southern twang throughout this track, and I really like that expression on this one. There's a robust richness in her voice, but it's a very southern, drawl take, if you will. Accent, that's what I'm looking for. Full-on indie bluegrass. Now, the cool thing about this is it does have the bonus track, and there's actually, you have to move the needle on the stylus the stylus on the record to get to the next track because it's an infinite loop that it gets stuck in. But it's called Troubadours / The Annoying Noise of Death. And it kind of continues the feel that Always has, where it's got that computery lo-fi synth sound with, which is kind of like all over the place with that storytelling, but the flashes of images that have images of lives you've never lived. It's a really complex song, but I love the little synth solo on this thing, and I love the shouting of Happy New Year at the end. It's kind of a fun way to close the record off. Nice little bop of a song, if you will. Here's the back cover. I'll show the inside again because you got the lyrics to most of the songs, but not all the songs. And the record is pressed on a really nice looking cream colored vinyl. And the labels look great. They just recreate what the album cover looks like basically, but very nice looking record there. So as I said earlier, it's fascinating to watch a band grow, and it's been so long since I've heard these songs. I mean, I probably haven't heard most of these songs in over 10 years at this point, so revisiting it was fantastic because I've been such a fan of these guys forever, and Jenny has gone on to such a good solo career. I mean, a lot of them have had solo careers, but I've followed Jenny's the closest, and her last album, On the Line, was one of the best things she's ever done. So hearing her development from 20 years ago to now through On the Line, it's just really cool because it really shows that she's pretty much stayed true to herself, but she's grown so much more as a storyteller and as an artist. But hearing these first steps and knowing that they've become the band they'd become, it's one of the cool things about how solid they were as musicians, that even right off the bat, there's only a couple of shaky moments here and there. They really kind of found their groove early on, which is cool. And fun fact, Dave Foley from Kids in the Hall actually helped produce this album. He saw their first show and really liked where they were going and helped them produce this and put it together. So, fun fact. But that's it. I'd give this thing probably a 7 out of 10. It's definitely not my favorite thing they've ever done, but I really appreciate it for what it is, and I appreciate having it on vinyl for the first time. I just think it's fun to hold this thing and be like, wow, actually, I'm holding this thing, so it's pretty cool. Never actually owned the CD, like I said. So that's it. My name is Giggens. This has been Rilo Kiley's debut album, EP, if you will, and yeah, 7 out of 10. Can't go wrong. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Giggens. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.